Hello, everybody. We'll just give it a few seconds before we get started as people are joining. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Zebra Dev Talk today. We're excited for you to join us for this discussion around cloud connectivity for Zebra printers. Before we get started today, I just want to go through some meeting logistics with you. The webinar is being recorded, and this recording will be available on our YouTube channel in about a week. All of your phone lines are muted, so we cannot see or hear you during this presentation. We will, however, try to answer your questions at the end of the presentation if time permits. If you do have a question throughout the meeting, please use the questions feature within Zoom. Also, be sure to use the QR codes that will be shared with you in the chat during the meeting, as there is valuable information and resources for you and your developer needs. Before I hand it over to Stephen, I just want to share this quick video that highlights our Zebra developer portal and all the tools, resources, and information that we have available.
Learn, connect, build, all in one place. The Zebra Developer Portal. As an enterprise software developer, you need fast and easy access to technical information, documentation, and tutorials. You also want to connect with your peers, share and consume information to build your knowledge and competencies. The updated Zebra Developer Portal has you covered. Product pages give you quick access to product overviews, tutorials, documentation, use cases, forums, and blogs about specific products, all indexed with quick links to key developer information to help you build. Forums within the Zebra developer community make it easy to connect with your peers and find answers to your specific development questions to help you collaborate and build. Community blogs feature content from Zebra engineers and other developer experts, all sharing the latest technologies and tools to enable your development on enterprise devices. Developer events provide knowledge and networking opportunities for our developer community. Be sure to scroll through the upcoming and past events for registration information and access to on-demand content. The Zebra Developer Portal provides enterprise developers like you with the tools and services you need to build your edge. With an easy-to-use interface, you will be sure to find the resources and connections you need to build all your enterprise applications. Devices built by us, apps built by you.
Great, thank you, Stephen. I'll be sharing links to the different channels that we have within the chat. In addition to the developer portal, though, we do invite you to join our developer community and the various social channels that we have. Stephen, if you go to the next slide. Here are some of our opportunities to join us on social via LinkedIn, X, GitHub, where you can also find our first series of our developer podcasts. These links will be shared during the chat, so please help us join in the conversation with other like-minded developers and join us. Now I'll turn it over for Stephen to go through the main presentation of today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Hi, welcome everyone to this Dev Talk. I'm Stephen Say, a senior software engineer from the ATS, Asset Tracking Solutions of Zebra Technologies. In today's talk, we are going to cover the cloud connectivities for Zebra printers. As we know, the cloud is getting so pervasive every day. So the cloud connectivity is kind of essential for our Link-OS printers. This allows us to create solutions that we can run securely, either on-premise or in the cloud. The connection is a direct connection, secured, and also encrypted. And also the cloud connection is a firewall-friendly connection, which means in most network settings, the connection is allowed beyond the firewall. And the technology behind the web connectivity on our Link-OS printers are based on the WebSocket. From the name of the WebSocket, which means we have a socket connection over the HTTP protocol. That's why we call it the web socket. We will go over detail in the next few slides. And with the cloud connection, of course, your IT still has the full control. This is an animation about how the cloud connectivity works with Zebra Link OS printers. So here I want to emphasize only the Link OS printers has the cloud connectivities. Zebra has many different printer models. The legacy print models do not have the cloud connectivity feature. The cloud connectivity, as we mentioned in the prior slide, is based on the HTTP protocol, right? So this connectivity will be initiated through the printer. Printer sends the HTTPS request and act as if it's a user initiated request from the browser that goes through the firewall and reach to the server. And with that initiation from the printer, the server is requested to send back a certificate. This is to ensure the secure of the connection, right? And also the HTTPS ensures the encrypted content being sent over the connection. Once the server's certificate has been authenticated and the server will request a certificate from the printer, this is to ensure those printers are from Zebra and the printer certificate are pre-installed in our firmware on the printer. So you don't have to worry about that. With the authentication completed successfully on the main channel, the server will agree to upgrade the HTTP connection to the WebSocket. So that's where the web connectivity kicks in. And on the main channel, once the web socket connection is established, all the printers connected through the connection will send the discovery packets back to the server to broadcast what the printer models are and what the IP addresses, and also all the details configurations on the printer will be sent through the discovery packets to the server. The server will use that information to manage or make a specific connection to a particular printer. Okay, as mentioned, the security is essential when we connecting a printer through the cloud to the server. So that's why the certificate is critical. In Zebra's WebSocket implementation, we enforce the mutual certification or mutual authentication. Printer first needs to authenticate the server through the server certificate, and then the server will verify the authentication on the printer by retrieving the certificate from the printer back to the server. So that's why the certificates are essential in this web cloud connectivity. And on the Zebra signed printer certificates are pre-installed through the firmware for all the Link OS printers. It's a 24/8 bits certificate. The server certificate, we can provide the Zebra signed server certificate for the user. And if you use the Zebra WAR file, in the example following on, we will demonstrate how the server is implemented through the WAR file provided by the Zebra. So the server certificate, Zebra can also provide you with the Zebra signed certificate for your server. Of course, you can use your own certificate if you like. You can either you can create your certificate, let Zebra to sign, or you can create your self-signed certificate. And you can also create your certificate signed by another certificate authority to sign it for you. So we are not going to discover the detail on the certificates and how they are going to be installed, because that's going to be covered by a separate topic, like covered fully in the print secure documentation. I will put the link on the last slides where you can refer to how to get your self-signed certificate installed on the printer as well as on the server. Okay, so once the connection is active, you can also configure to send the alerts back to your server. So that way you can monitor the status on the printer, either the printer head open or printer out of media. Those kind of alerts will be sent back to your server through the web link you configured on the printer. So that's the way you monitor the printer status. And also you can send the print job as well. And also you can actively query for the printer status instead of just monitor the alerts. On the socket connection, we will go a little bit further in the later slides. There is the main connection, that's the main channel. Main channel is responsible for establishing the secured connection and also for printer to send the server up its discovery packets. After the main channel is opened, the server can also request to open a status channel to the printer as well as a raw channel to the printer. So those are two channels. Raw channel will be used for sending the print jobs or firmwares or file objects, etc., to the printer. The status channel will be used for the for the server to mainly request the printer status back from the printer. Okay, so yeah, this slide summarizes what the discovery packets look like. So once you have a main channel open, and then you can detect the discovery packet sent from the printer. So the discovery packet is base 64 with the discovery underscore B6 as a element for the JSON. And also the printer's alerts will go up through the main channel back to the server. And once server has the main channel opened, the server can continue to open the raw channel by sending the commands open v1.raw.zebra.com. That's the message you send back to the printer. The printer will open a raw channel for print labels, update firmware, etc. And also server can open additional channel. We call it the status channel as well as a config channel. So use open vi.config.zebra.com that to inform the printer to open a configuration channel or status channel. So that's why the server can communicate to the server to the printer to retrieve the status from the printer. So that's the essence of how the WebSocket works in detail. So this slide shows you how to configure the WebSocket on the printer. So you can either use the JSON command or use the SGD command. So use the JSON command, you have all the JSONs in one block. With SGD command, you have to send the SGD command one after another in this order, right? And from here, you see we have a connection CON2. We also have a CON1. So on each Link OS printers, we have two WebSocket connection or WebLink connections. So you can configure either one of them, or you can use both to connect two different clouds. So in this example, we use the connecting tool to connect to your web server, right? So if you prefer to connect use the connection 1, you can change this to CON1. Once you have the printer configured for the WebSocket, you would initiate a reset command to restart the printer. Once the printer restarted, you can also use the SGD command to retrieve the log. That is a very helpful tool to retrieve the WebLink log so that you can debug in which stage the connection may failed, such as whether it's in the handshake, whether it's RTC is off, or whether it's the certificate is embedded, etc., by using the WebLink log SGD to retrieve the WebLink log. So this diagram shows how WebLink is implemented with the zebra.org file. So if for people who is familiarized with the Link-OS SDK, you probably see the Link-OS SDK for web services. So that SDK for web services is implemented in Java based on the Tomcat. You can download the Tomcat supported WAR file from the Link-OS SDK web page, and the WAR file supports Tomcat 8 and 9. So you can download the latest Tomcat 9 WAR file from the Zebra. So those printers connected to the your server through the Tomcat and connect to the servlet provided by the zebra.war file. And then you can use our SDK, which is also Java-based, allows your web application to communicate with specific applications over the browser. So this diagram shows the high level view from the architecture perspective, right? Once the printer is connected, your SDK can initiate the printer discovery by discover a printer, connect to the port on the servlet of the zebra.war file, and also establish the connection. And with the zebra.war file, you don't have to worry about the raw channel versus config channel, because those are hiding behind the same. You just use the SDK's API to make the call to either print the label or send a firmware to the printer. It's all behind the same implemented. But if you prefer to create your own server rather than using zebra.war file, then you have to work through those details, how to open those two specific connections. And the documentation for doing that will be posted on the resource page of this presentation. Okay, this is code snippets to demonstrate how you would discover the printers. So once you have the printers connected to the zebra.war file with our Java SDK. So here you simply call the get connected printers. This is the default port number of the servlet provided by the zebra.war file. And you put those all the go through those each discovered printers from this API and put them in a slim disco printer. So that's a subset of the discovered printer on your list. Then you can start to use it, right? So it's pretty straightforward. And in order to create a connection, so here if you use our SDK, you don't have to worry about whether it's a raw channel or it's a configuration channel. You simply create a remote channel by putting the serial number that was discovered through the printer discovery API in the previous slide, right? And then you can supply the port number, and it goes to this port to communicate with the printers with this serial number. That's a unique identifier in the WebSocket to identify the printer you want to communicate. And then you could open the chat communication, and then get the printer instance. Once you have the printer instance, you can do various different activities. You can like a printer configuration label, just an example. So once you have a printer instance, you can do you can call a lot of APIs associated with a printer object. So we are not going to cover it here. It's well documented in the Java SDK API documentation. This slide is demonstrated one use case of the cloud connectivity. We call it PPME, Printer Profile Manager for Enterprise. And I'm going to show you how this works in a later slide. This is also based on the zebra.war file to create the web server, which connects to Zebra printers. But of course, you have to register your printer with the PPME. You can get the test account that is published on our demo web page I also put a link on the resource slides on this presentation. Another use case for the cloud connectivity is the send file to a printer API. So this API is also based on the cloud connection from our printer to Zebra Cloud. You don't have to do anything because the printer already has those pre-installed Zebra certificate, device certificate on the printer, and the cloud is has this Zebra signed server certificate on the cloud. So the printer has the server certificate authority pre-installed, so you can automatically sync up with the Zebra Cloud without to do anything else. The user only need to configure the WebLink 1 or WebLink 2 in order for the printer to connect to Zebra Cloud, and then invokes the send file to printer API, which is RESTful API, allows the application to call from anywhere, from any application to initiate a print to those printer. I'm going to show a brief demo as well for this use case. The last use case is also related to the cloud connectivity. As people may know, in the firmware on all the Zebra Link-OS printers, there is a data capture feature, allows a paired Bluetooth scanner to capture input data and forward the input data to a web or to a HTTP server. So if you have the printer already connect to a cloud, and you can let the printer to forward those captured data back to the HTTP server you intended to use to collect those data, and then process the data and send the corresponding resulting label based on those data back to the printer through the cloud connectivity. So this demo is also published on the Link-OS printer demo webpage. I have a link on the last slides in this presentation. So, but I'm not going to demonstrate it here. Okay, so this is the resource page, which captures all those resources you may need. First one is the SDK for web services. That's the documentation for how to use the web services, where you can find the information, how to create your own self-signed certificate, how to install the self-signed certificate on the Apache Tomcat environment. And also the second is to configure the web link on the printer, and the print secure give you information about how you use the if you have a self-signed certificate, how you install the self-signed certificate on the printer, right? And also how you use a device certificate. If you prefer to have your own device certificate, then you can follow this documentation to install the device certificate of yourself instead of use Zebra device certificate. And this page tells you all the cloud demo published on a web page. And the last one is the demo for the send file to printer API we published on the GitHub. So now let me stop sharing and sharing the browser where we have the demo. Let me do it this way, share the screen. Okay, I need to share the screen. Okay. Now, this first one is the PPME Printer Profile Manager Enterprise demo. I already have the demo set up. I have two printers. One is the ZQ310. Another one is ZQ620. So ZQ310. So this is ZQ310. And from here, you can see we can retrieve the current status, right? And also I have the alert sent back to the the cloud by config the alerts back to the web link we configured on the printer. So if I open the printer's head, you will see the alert received immediately on the printer. Okay, so that's how the alert get processed straight away. Okay, and if I close it, and you get the status updated immediately. The same thing for the ZQ620. Then let's do ZQ620. Okay, I know the IP address. That is the one of the ZQ620. Okay, that's my printer in my hand. If I open the cover, you will see, the alerts go straight back to the cloud application straight away. And if I close the cover, okay, alerts get updated straight away. Okay, and also this is the demo page on the LinkOS demo website, where I have one printer, ZQ10 connected. So this ZQ10 connects to both clouds, PPME clouds, as well as the web service developer demo. This is based on the Tomcat 9 zebra.war file. Okay, so I have this printer because I recognize the IP address. So that's my IP address connected. So if I want to print a content, like a printer format, for example, if I want to print my name, okay, let me do this. Okay, you see, it prints out straight away, right? Okay, the last application I'm going to show you is the this demo is based on the one we posted on the GitHub. It's for the send file to printer API. So I have this ZQ620. This connects to Zebra Cloud for the send file to printer API, as well as the PPME cloud. So that's the serial number of this printer. I'm going to choose a file. I'm going to which is going to be sent to this printer. That would be the hello world. Okay. So if I click on send when it's successful. So you see your hello world being printed out, this way. And if do one more time. Okay. So this demonstrates how the cloud connectivity is so convenient for us to implement the solutions which can be used from anywhere on any platform and send to a printer, connect to a cloud from anywhere in the world. So you can even send a print job to a printer you are not seeing, because it's a cloud connected. So the printer can connect cloud from anywhere in the world. So that concludes my demonstration. Now I'm open for questions. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Great. Thank you, Stephen. Very informative. To those on the phone, if you can use the Q&A feature to ask any questions, and I'll go ahead and ask them for you on behalf that we have had a few come in. Let me just pull them up. Give me a minute. All right. So Stephen, I think maybe you covered some of this, but it looks like they just need clarification. Can Zebra printers connect to a non-Zebra cloud over the WebSocket?
Yes, of course. You can create your own cloud, build your own web servers. But however, you have to have a certificate installed on the printer, as well as a certificate installed on your server. So you have the certificate authority installed on the printer, so that the printer can recognize, can authenticate that's a legitimate server you want this printer to connect with. So as long as you have your self-signed server certificate installed on the server and put the certificate authority on the printer, then you are good to go. You can connect to your cloud or anyone else's cloud if you do the same.
Great. Another follow-up came up to that one is, can it connect to the ZD420 specifically?
ZD420, yes, that's a Link-OS printer. Yeah, as I said, all the Link-OS printers has a cloud connectivity feature. So you can certainly, use the ZD420, either connect to Zebra Cloud without need to do anything, or connect the ZD420 to your own cloud, which you are required to install the certificate authority and also the certificate on the server in order for the authentication to go through successfully.
Great. And this is similar question. So sorry, the other one was specific to the ZD420, but this is which Zebra printer models support the WebSocket? So a little bit more broader.
Okay, so as I mentioned, as long as it's Link-OS printers, then you are good to go. In order to check whether this printer is a Link-OS printer or not, you can check the user manual for that printer model. It is clearly stated whether this printer is a Link-OS printer or not. Or you can query for the printer configuration. You print out the printer configuration label. On that label, it will tell you whether it's a Link-OS printer or not. If it is a Link-OS printer, it will say Link-OS version like a 6.3 or 6.8, etc. If it's not Link-OS printer, you would not have the Link-OS version information on the configuration label.
Great. And I think there is just one more. Let me just see here. Are there any Link-OS version minimums that we need to be concerned with? Link-OS 5.0 is old and 6.8 is current. Any concerns with that?
For the cloud connectivity, the WebSocket was implemented in the Link-OS 5 point something back in 1995 timeframe. So quite earlier. So you don't have to worry. Our printer or we already at the Link-OS 6.8 right now, right? But however, for the send file to printer API, in order to send a PDF file, then you need to use Link-OS 6.7. Prior Link-OS 6.7, the WebSocket was not able to take the input of the PDF file. Only the TCP connection and the USB connection and Bluetooth connections takes the PDF content. So we add this capability for the WebSocket connection in Link-OS 6.7.
Great, thank you. More questions are coming in, Stephen. So very interesting topic here. Connected to the Zebra Cloud, do the certificates have to be renewed on the printers after a certain time, or does this happen automatically?
When connect to the Zebra Cloud, we have a generic certificate installed on the printer with the firmware. You don't have to worry about the expiration of the device certificate. And if this is a Zebra Cloud, we automatically renew the server certificate every 2 years, right? But if you use your own server, your own cloud, you have to manage the expiration dates of the certificate on your server. And also if you have your own device certificate on the Zebra device, then you have to manage the expiration date as well. But if you prefer to use the generic Zebra device certificate pre-baked with the firmware, you don't have to worry the expiration date. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Please type in the chat. At this moment, I think we've gone through them, but we'll give everybody another few seconds here to type in. All right, I think that wraps up our session for today. Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate it. For those on the line, we do have a quick survey. If you could just hang on here as soon, it'll be popped up as soon as the webinar ends. And if you can please just take a minute or two to let us know your thoughts. That would be wonderful. And we look forward to seeing you on our next one.